Okay, this is from assignment 11B again. It's number 14 on page 321. So I'm looking at a couple of things. I have a lot going on here. The first thing I'm noticing is that I have three different functions here. So the first strategy I'm going to use is I'm going to rewrite these all in terms of sines and cosines. So tangent of x, I'm going to rewrite that as sine of x over cosine of x. Cotangent I'm going to rewrite as cosine of x over sine of x. And I'm going to have a complex fraction here because I'm going to rewrite secant squared of x as 1 divided by cosine squared of x. Okay, so now I have a complex fraction. My favorite way to deal with a complex fraction is to multiply through by the lowest common denominator over the lowest common denominator. In this case, it's going to be cosine squared of x, sine x, over 1. And so what's going to happen here is in the numerator, I'm going to be distributing that, and the cosine squared of x here is going to cancel with, or the cosine of x here is going to cancel with the cosine squared of x, and I'll have cosine of x, and then I'm going to have sine squared of x. This sine of x is going to cancel with the sine of x that I'm multiplying through by, and I'm actually going to have cosine cubed of x. In the denominator, this cosine squared of x is going to cancel with the cosine squared of x, and I will have sine of x. Now, the denominator, or the numerator, is actually going to, there's a little trick here. I'm going to factor out the common factor of cosine of x. So that was a little bit of foresight on my behalf. I noticed that if I factored out the cosine of x, I'm left with sine squared of x plus cosine squared of x. And remember, this is a Pythagorean relationship. This equals 1. So when I simplify, I'm just going to have cosine of x over sine of x. And that very simply simplifies to cotangent of x. And there is my final answer.